a vest is too far. Do you think a vest is too far? Those eyes say it all.
Yeah, I think a vest is a touch far.
What if it's a nice vest with a collar?
Our guest today is a European Tour winner, Andrew Johnston, better known as Beef.
That's a horrible noise. What are we doing?
Beef, welcome.
Hi guys.
That beef was a better opener than we managed, Joe. Can we get the beard chat out of the way first of all? Because I'm the meat in a beardy sandwich here. I've got Joe on my left with his usual magnificent beard, and I've got Beef on my right with an also magnificent beard. It's slightly like the two of you are looking in a mirror.
Just for the listeners, we're just staring into each other's eyes now, waiting for someone to crack. We're looking at each other. I'm glad your cap's backwards. Fuck. I can't stop looking at him. Can't stop looking at him.
Who's had the beard longer?
I'm
How long have you had your beard before, Beef?
2015.
2015. Joe Marler, your beard
Since
began.
I was 9.
Yeah.
So
Talking about arse beards.
don't bring the tone down, mate.
Have we come on here to do like a DNA test? Just check we're
Yeah.
not family or something.
Well, you could be.
No, you haven't got the right nose. Your nose doesn't protrude as much as mine. See that? Is, I talk about that vocab app that I got. Protrude was one of the words I found as well.
What's the word?
Protrude? Gertrude? What is it? Am I saying it wrong?
You're nearly there.
Protrude or protrude?
Protrude.
Protrude.
Actually, the word doesn't make sense in my own head now. You've mangled it so much.
You've ruined it. Fine. Right, I've got to ask, get it away early. Why do people call you Andrew? What's the crap with Beef?
It goes back since when I was about 12, but it's an awful story though.
Yeah, we like awful stories.
I had a big head of curly hair. And one of my mates at the golf club just said, "Look at you and your big head. You got a beef head."
What?
A beef head.
When have you ever seen a bit of beef that's like curly and hairy?
I don't know.
In defence of your mate, was he saying that you had a big, like a bovine head, a big head?
Yeah, you just got a big head.
Yeah.
And that was it.
I
Just
don't
that.
think you have got a big
I
head.
think you've got quite a small head.
I've got a tiny head.
Pea head.
Yeah.
So how long have you been a golfer?
Professionally
Yeah,
or
professionally.
2009.
Doesn't
ages,
help
man.
me. That just gave me the year.
14.
It's not that hard.
13 years.
13 years. Yeah.
Not that hard. We're both struggling to fucking answer it.
Yeah, well, I didn't think I was going
Right,
to come
so-
on here and have a maths test.
For 13 years, you've been known as Beef in the professional golf world. How would you feel about, right here, right now, maybe changing that to P?
Can you shout P?
P!
It's pretty similar,
Similar
really.
to Beef.
Yeah.
Minus the
Yeah, the
Yeah.
foof.
f. Oh, God.
You need the foof.
We all need f.
Would P be less intimidating for your rivals? Because Beef strikes me as a masculine nickname. P.
Yeah, I don't want to change it to P.
Oh,
Got
okay.
any others?
It's Peef. Peef?
P.
So what I've done there is mix pea and beef. So you keep your masculinity, but we're showing a slightly more feminine side to you, and that you love vegetables as much as you love meat. So you'll think about it. I get it.
Are you spelling that like P-A-F or P-E-E-F?
It's your name, mate. You choose. Absolutely fine. Right, this episode's about golfers / golfing. So it's important that we've got one of the best golfers in Europe that we actually talk about golf, Tom. Stop
Yes.
ruining it with...
You love golf, Joe, don't you?
I absolutely love golf. Do you play golf?
I don't play as much as I'd like to because of my children. You seem to play more golf than me despite having double the number of my children.
I play once a year.
Yeah,
So how's that more than... You play none a year?
none of you. What's your best shot, Joe, when you're on the course?
It used to be... have you ever heard of a chipper?
Oh, you don't use the chipper, do you?
So it used to be... I used to have this chipper, which was... It's like a putter, but it's got an angled face on it, and it's called a chipper. And,
It chips the ball, does it?
well, it's for where you're kind of near the green, but you're off it.
Fringes.
But I haven't got the ability to, like, flop it or bump and run. So I just used to get this chipper out and just... And I remember one of my mates who fancies himself as a proper golfer going, "It's an illegal club, mate." And I went, "Pardon?" He said, "It's an illegal club. You're not allowed that in your bag." I went, "We're not on the fucking PGA Tour, are we? We're playing at bloody Wellshurst Golf Club around the thing, having a beer. So it's a legal club. You can't have it." So ever since then, I've not been able to use it. Is it an illegal club, Beef?
I don't think so. I think you can use it.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure you can.
But-
But it's like sportsmanship, isn't it? It's like playing table tennis with an anti-spin bat.
Yeah.
No one likes that. It's like, oh, I don't want to play him. I don't want to play Greg. He's got an anti-spin bat. It's boring.
an anti-spin bat.
You never heard that?
What's an anti-spin bat?
So you know, like table tennis, you get like we've gone off golf already. You know, they've got like a table tennis bat. It's got two smooth sides.
Yeah, red and black.
Yeah, one has like the dots, like the pimples.
Yeah.
That basically, so no matter how much spin you put on it, you can just like nudge it back, and it takes all the spin off of it. It's basically, I'd say, it's the equivalent. A chipper is equivalent to that.
Just to clarify this, we're calling Joe a cheat here, aren't we?
No, Beef said it wasn't illegal, just frowned upon.
Yeah.
Like when you knock the bails, when the
Man-cadding.
what?
That's when you knock the bails off as a bowler.
I was talking about farmers
Okay, yeah.
when they knock the bails off the tractor and then it rolls down the hill before you get too far ahead of yourself. Yeah, that was my favourite shot, using the chipper. It's a form of a bump and run, isn't it? I'll bring that back now that I've actually had a pro golfer saying I can put it back in my club, although it's frowned upon.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it. But yeah, I think you could piss a lot of people off.
Excellent. That's my niche, actually. That's what I do really well.
What's your worst, Joe? What's the club you pull out of the bag and shit brick straight away?
Driver.
Yeah.
Can't fucking drive.
Can't you?
Oh, my God, mate. It's either what's that way
Like a slice.
or a
Hook.
all of them.
Did you hit it far though?
No, because I can't twist.
Yeah.
So I'll only ever like half swing. I ain't got the mobility to get round. And now, rather than trying to hit it, I do like what those 70-year-old blokes do, where you just like swing it, and they always go dead straight. So that's what I do, but it only just goes past the red tees. Are they the lady? They're the ladies' ones, aren't they? Reds.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
that's what they generally play off, yeah.
Well, so that's what I do. So why are you inquiring me about my golf? I'm not golf fuck. What about you, Tom? Do you have a golf shot? Do you play much?
If I had to go to, my favourite club is the 3-wood. Because I think the 3-wood's quite forgiving. I don't mind a 3-wood off the tee, which I know is a bit sneaky. Get you up and running, get down the middle of the fairway. A 3-wood off the fairway often goes wrong, doesn't it? But I do like it. If you get it chasing, it's a lovely feeling. And it just chases down the fairway. Joe, you look bored already.
I just like really enjoying our attempts at golf lingo. Chasing.
You chase the ball down there, yeah.
You run after it, do you?
The ball is it's skipping and bumping
Right,
over
okay.
the undulations of the fairway.
Okay. Beef, what's your favourite club and shot, please?
I like giving the driver a hit.
Ooh.
Love it, yeah. Yeah, you can stand up, tee up quite high and just, yeah.
Give us
it
a
a
driver
smack.
noise.
What noise are they make?
That was like a gun. Or a spaceship taking off.
Yeah.
Fuck, you are good at golf.
Yeah, that's what you got to do when you practice. Take a...
More golfers should make noises as they drive.
Do you think that should be like a requirement?
Yeah, first tee, you have to make a noise as you drive.
What you want? I don't think that would go down well with the etiquette of golf, would it? Like people start.
Just mix it up a bit.
Nino, Nino. Here we go. Right, it's fine. Right, let's actually go back to the very basics. Let's pretend someone listening to this hasn't got a clue what golf is. Like, never heard of it. How would you best describe what golf is?
Well, firstly, it's a sport. I'd start there.
Good, like it.
Strong start.
It's a sport where you play 18 different holes and you have to basically get a white golf ball with golf clubs that you use to hit the white ball, get it all the way down the hole, like every hole, get the ball into the hole. Golf's hard to explain.
Very hard to explain. If you had just said that to someone who's never seen golf and you asked them to perform golf,
I thought we were going to get like an expert in golf on.
You describe rugby then. What's rugby?
It's an invasion sport where you have to invade the opposition's areas using a ball that you can only pass backwards. And in order to score points...
You can pass it forwards quite a lot these days, it seems.
Grow up.
Yeah.
You have to put the ball over the try line for 5 points. Then you get the chance to increase that 5 points to 7 points with a conversion, which is a kick from a tee over in between these posts things. And you also get penalties. Fucking what a boring sport that is. Jesus Christ. The fact that you struggled, I say struggled in the politest way possible, to describe the actual sport, does that actually contribute to why it's so hard and frustrating to actually play?
Yeah, I think it's one of them games where you've got to play a lot. You've got to play a lot to sort of get the hang of what you're doing and understanding the rules. Hopefully there's people out there that can explain it better than myself. I'd like another go, to be honest.
Have another go.
Okay.
Let's just start again. That never happened.
Yeah. So, hi, Beef. I'm Joe. This is Tom.
Hi,
and
Beef.
we've never heard of golf. Is this golf? Golf? What is golf? Can you explain to us what this sport is?
It's a game where you have clubs where you've got to hit a little ball into a hole. And there's 18 holes, and you have to try and get it round the golf course in as little shots as possible.
How far away are these holes?
It could vary from 100 yards to 500 yards.
And by little shots, do you mean like little, like as in like a tiny little, or do you mean as little in numbers?
Like a little ball, not like a big ball, like a little ball.
Little ball.
And then it's not a very big hole, is it?
Okay, and what do I wear doing this?
You have to wear, a collared T-shirt.
So why do I have to wear collared I haven't got any collared T-shirts.
I know, this is the
Would
problem.
I not be allowed on?
This is the problem we're having with golf at the moment.
Oh, okay. Okay. We'll accept your second explanation of what golf is, and then we'll try and break down the etiquette. So should we get into the etiquette now?
Do you think, actually, I've got one question before that, Joe.
Okay.
Do you think, Beef, that golf is the hardest sport out there? And I'm not saying that to big you up, but just in terms of the size of the ball you're hitting, the size of the thing you're using to hit the ball, how far away your target is and how small your target is, and all the things that lie in between you and the target.
That whole sentence. There's so much in there we could break down.
Do you want 8 different questions from that?
No, that could mean other stuff.
You're struggling with the whole thing, aren't you?
And then you went lying. You used the word lying, and then ball and small, and put it in. Sorry.
It is a really difficult game because there's so many sort of circumstances that can happen that's out of your control. Every day is just completely different, whether you're playing the same golf course, and it could be the greens, it could be the grass, it could be the wind, where your ball goes, bounces, where it lands. So it's always changing, and I think that's the really difficult thing with golf. And obviously you're trying to practice to become consistent, but it's so many inconsistencies in golf.
Yet the beautiful thing about golf is that anyone, no matter how bad they are, can play anyone else who might be amazing.
Yeah, that's the brilliant thing, the thing about handicaps. Do you know what a handicap is?
What's that then?
So if we were to play, I could play off 0, so I have no help. You could have 30 shots. So at the end of the round, say if I scored 70 and you scored 100,
I win.
it'd be a draw.
What?
Yeah, so you have so you can play against anyone. I play with my mates all the time, all different levels, and it evens it out with the handicap.
So it's like a 100-meter race, and I start at 20 meters.
50.
What?
All right, carry on.
And then it makes it even.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's brilliant. Did they do that because money was short and they couldn't get loads of good golf? They knew that this was a really hard sport, so we need to make it somewhat easier so other people come in and pay, even though they're shit.
Yeah.
That's such a bad
Yeah.
explanation of it.
No, I get it. Yeah, it just makes it. It makes it so everyone can play, basically. Because if you didn't have a handicap system, then you just have the same people beating every time, and it'd get boring. Where if I play with my mates, I have to play really well to beat them because of their handicaps.
Now, I've got to be careful with my words here, because you are our guest. You're someone I've admired from afar, not in a stalker, creepy way. Like, I haven't been watching you through windows and stuff.
Not at all.
Just pardon?
Not at all.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's fine. You don't strike me as someone who's stereotypically known as a golfer. If I was to look at the stereotype of golfer, they wouldn't talk like you. They'd talk slightly posher. And there's not many golf courses I know in Finchley. Is that North London?
Yeah.
That I know. Maybe I'm wrong because I'm shit with geography. What I'm trying to say is, how did you get into golf on the basis that I think that you probably didn't have a lot of access? Did you go to a school with a 18-hole golf course in it?
Far from it.
Right. So how did you get into golf then?
It was through my dad. He used to play. So he played football up until he was in his early 40s. And then, got to a time where he couldn't play anymore. So my mum actually told him to go and take up golf. And he got hooked on it. And that was it. So once he started playing, and I was 4 when we started.
Wait.
So, yeah, used to go to, like, the little pitch and putts, like little 9-hole golf courses that are all, like, 70, 80 yards. And I just used to go round and round and round and go to, like, local, a field, basically, and go and hit a load of golf balls on the field. And then, luckily I joined North Middlesex when I was 9. And that was it. I was hooked. But I played, like, every sport. I loved it.
Why did golf work for you then? What was it about golf that worked for you and the other sports didn't work quite as well?
Just realised I was shit at everything else. Yeah.
Does that sound familiar at all, Joe?
Yeah, football, you'd end up in goal. Rugby, didn't want to get tackled. Pass. Tennis, shit. And then I was like, I'm running out of ideas. I better stick to golf. I'm never gonna do like a triple jump, am I, or a high jump? So yeah, I ruled that out straight away before trying it.
I would actually pay a lot of money to see you enter a triple jump competition now.
Do you fancy your chances?
I think me and you should do a triple jump competition.
Superb idea.
Like,
can we have some sort of handicap though? Like, can we get a small like trampette at each that you go?
How far do you think you could go? So you've got the hop, the skip, and the jump.
Right, I remember growing up watching Jonathan Edwards. He was the great. Was he the greatest?
He still is the world record holder.
Is he still?
Yeah.
And I remember it's
Over
something
18 metres.
18.15. I want to say 25, maybe something like that. He was fantastic. I loved that. I think I could get 7.
So the problem with the triple jump, having watched a lot of track and field, is it's probably the most humiliating event to do if you can't do it, if that makes sense. So like javelin, you can still throw the javelin out of, onto the field. Triple jump, you would be landing on the runway. You wouldn't reach the sand.
So you're basically saying we'll get stuck at skip.
You wouldn't get past the skip. So you'd graze your arse on the track.
Hey, it's the taking part that counts, apparently. Right, so you started at North Middlesex Golf Club, Country Club. What was it?
Golf club.
Golf Club. And are you still a member there now?
Yeah, basically, it was like my second home, and I'm always back. Yeah, when I'm over, I'm always up there.
Are you allowed to go back there and dress how you're dressed now and play golf however you want to play?
I don't know about playing golf, but this is how I'd go up to meet my mates in the bar.
Right.
Yeah, so there's like no dress code in the bar or anything.
That's a nice time.
Yeah, it's really chilled out.
Let's get into the etiquette bit then. Dress code in golf. Give me an insight as to what that is.
Well, golf shoes I'd start off with. You need golf shoes.
So they're shoes with spikes, are they?
Yeah. I'd say you wouldn't need them in the summertime. You could probably get away with a pair of trainers, but as soon as it gets a bit wet or slippery, I've stacked it before.
Oh, right. It is specifically to do with grip, not to do with fucking up the ground.
Nah, grip.
Oh.
100% grip, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've played in trainers when it's slightly wet and like went to hit a driver and fell straight up my arse.
Nice.
Yeah, that, I'd say chinos, type of chinos, and a collared shirt. That's usually like the dress code.
What about shorts?
Yeah, you can wear shorts.
What's
Like chino, like tailored shorts, I'd say.
Do I have to wear a belt?
No?
Do I have to tuck my shirt in?
No, not really. Some places you might. North Mid you won't.
And why collar to my shirt?
God knows.
This is
Honestly,
the thing, though,
honestly, I don't know. I don't know.
Now, because those rules have kind of been around way before you were around, are you sort of then frowned upon by speaking out a bit and going, why can't we just wear what we want on the golf course because we're just here to play golf?
I don't know. I just think they're so outdated. It doesn't even matter anymore. But I don't get why you can't just wear a T-shirt.
I mean, does it like the additional inch of material that you gain from having a collar? Does that make you a better person anyway?
Absolutely not.
It's the one thing that's always rubbed me up the wrong way with golf is the snobbery aspect that can come into it, where it's like you have to have your shirt tucked in here, you have to have your socks at a certain length, or you can't have ankle socks, or you got to have a belt, or you got to have a collared shirt, or the way you dress and stuff like that. And I'm like, that kind of gets on my tits a bit. Like, why? Why does that matter whether we're having I'm still going to... It's not like I'm being an absolute helmet going around the place, divoting everywhere, crashing buggies, that's different. But what I look like shouldn't make a difference to me treating the clubhouse or the course with respect as I am going to do.
Yeah, I agree. I think this day and age, it needs to change. And I think it's slowly changing and times are changing. But it's almost like this history that goes back to rules and etiquette and how you should look and dress smart and things like that. But I always say to people, if you're going out on a Saturday or a Sunday, right, and you want to catch up with a few friends after a long week's work, you want to go out, have a few beers, chill out, play some music maybe in your buggy and have a good time. What the fuck does it matter about what clothes? I've been saying it for years. I couldn't care less. If I saw someone playing in a T-shirt, a pair of shorts, I couldn't care less. Have a good day, mate. But I just don't get it. I reckon I think another 15, 20 years, hopefully, like that will really start to fade out. But we should be pushing for a lot more, I think, now.
There's one I had once, Joe. There are a couple of courses on Wimbledon Common. So when I lived in London, and obviously with the old day job as a sports writer, you work weekends and get days off during the week, so it's quite good for golf. And there is a course there where the stipulation is to play, and it's one you can turn up and pay and play. The stipulation is you have to wear a, quote, pillar box red garment. So it's a tricky one for starters because you go to your wardrobe and you think, is this pillar box red? Do I have anything that's red? I've gone there and been turned away because they said it was the wrong sort of red.
You're taking a piss?
No, but better than that, eventually I got a pillar box red top because it's a really nice course. And then when I went to go into the clubhouse afterwards, and bear in mind this is like a Wednesday about 2 PM, there's no one else in the clubhouse. I've gone to the bar and in my pillar box red top, and the bloke shook his head and I go, what do you mean? And he's pointed at this sign on the wall which says no red tops in the clubhouse.
Fuck me dead. Fuck me dead. Pillar box red?
Yeah. It's something to do with, I think it's either the London Scottish or the London Welsh, and it was founded by people from that regiment, and their regimental dress was pillar box red or something. But it was nuts because there was no one else on this course. There was no one else buying a beer in the clubhouse. It was just a way of telling you to fuck off.
I just think it's stupid. If you want to grow your sport and make it accessible to all boys and girls, then why would you have stuff that I know this should be a level of respect and etiquette, but not to the point where you're feeling like they're turning, I don't fancy that because you've got to wear that, or I haven't got that. There's people out there who haven't got collared shirts or the right sort of kit to turn up to, but they want to go give golf a crack. I think they need to open it up a little bit more so more people are playing. Have you ever been turned away for wearing the wrong kit, or...?
I've been told off a lot for clothing.
Have you?
Yeah. Trainers are the one. As I always said, what drives me nuts in golf clubs is you're playing in the middle of winter, right? You got your golf shoes on, waterproofs, caked in mud, and you can go in the bar and have a pint. But as soon as sometimes you step in certain clubs and you've got a brand new pair of clean trainers on, they're like, you can't come in here, but you can come caked in mud. That's the one that drives me insane, honestly.
You can't go in the clubhouse in trainers?
Some places you can't. Some places. At North Mid, it was like, what changed dress code there is I just said we need to open it up for everyone, because we had like friends who wanted to come up and watch the football after we played golf. And they were like, oh, you've got to have all these rules. And like, I kind of said to my mates, I was just like, ignore it, just turn up. Because we're all going to have a big drink, spend loads of money at the bar, and they won't be able to like turn it down. So we just kept doing it. Come in, get told off, come in, get told off. And in the end, they just gave up with the dress code and just let it loose. And that was that was one of two problems. The one that really got me was the chef at the time at North Mid kept filling up the Heinz bottles with that vinegary tomato ketchup.
Oh, whoa.
This was a big problem. So I'd come in every time I'd be back. I'd come in and I would like just squirt a little bit of my finger, taste it, and go, still vinegar, and just throw it in the bin. Like, so I used to have this running thing of like, just put normal tomato ketchup in there, man.
What colour was the ketchup? Was it pillar box red or?
No, that was the thing. That shitty vinegar.
It's browner, isn't it?
It's and also like more translucent. You can see through it. It's shit. I know what you mean.
As soon as you squirt it, it's just a bit ruddy, and you're like, I don't even have to taste this. I know what you've done here again. How many times do I have to throw that bottle in the bin? And then they have like the bottles, like the red bottle and the brown bottle, to hide the see-through bottle. Mate, yeah, a lot of ketchup went in the bin. Put it that way. But now, good news, you can wear what you want, and we got Heinz ketchup there.
Boom.
First world problem. Fuck me. Couple of minutes. Fucking hell, what about this ketchup we've got here? Jesus Christ. Fucking hell. I think the most I've got, this is probably a step too far, at a local golf club, Horham. It's a 9-hole, but you can play it.
2 tees.
What do you mean?
2 tees per hole? Can you turn it into an 18-holer?
Yeah, you can play 18, but it's... I don't know how I'm working that out. They're the same holes. So how's it 18?
Are there 2 different types of tee boxes?
There's loads.
It's a great story, Joe. Thanks.
Anyway, it was really hot one summer, and I was baking, and I'd gone in, I'd conformed to a point in my shorts, slightly tailored, collared shirt, but under my collared shirt, because I knew it was going to be baking, and it's one of my favourite items to wear, I had a vest. So then halfway round, it was baking. I just thought, no one's looking about, it's fine. So I'm there playing in my vest, and I was like, right. It was a part of me that was quite, yeah, fuck you. Finally fucking playing how I want to play in my vest. And then I got back in, after I put my shirt back on after we finished, went back in the bar, and they went, sorry, mate, we've had one of the members complain that you've been playing in a vest. And I went, where's your proof? He went, well, no, obviously the member, have you been playing in your vest? And I'm like, no. And he's like, I can see your vest underneath your polo shirt, mate. I was like, yeah. He said, just don't do it again. We're not strict here, but just a vest is too far. Do you think a vest is too far? Those eyes say it all.
Yeah, I think a vest is a touch far.
What if it's a nice vest with a collar?
Oh, there's a new bit of kit.
Yeah.
Collared vest?
Yeah.
Collared vest. I mean, that would be hard, because never have I ever seen it written down saying, oh, maybe it is, you have to have sleeves to your item.
I think if you got a collar in your vest,
There'll
be a good argument in a lot of places.
Yeah, because it's always just like, collared shirt or a collared top. I'd be like, well, it's technically the top of my body and it's collared.
Yeah.
Oh, that's our next bit of kit. We've got the
collared
bobble
vest.
hat, we got the socks, and we're going to do a collared vest for all our golfing fans out there. Excellent. Let's get into some top-end golfing chat. Big golfers' wages. Like, I hear silly numbers. How much... but I also have seen Happy Gilmore and seen that the 52nd top golfer in that tournament ends up walking away with $5,000 or something. Does that happen? Do you get money regardless of where you finish in a tournament?
So you start off, and a tournament's usually 4 days. So it's generally from about 128 to 156 players at one tournament. You play 2 rounds, and then the top 65 will go through to the weekend. So once you get through to the weekend, that's when you'll start making money. So you got to get in that top 65 to make money, and then from the weekend you'll be paid. But like anything, it's steep. So if you do well and you're up in the top 5, you could earn a lot of money depending what tournament. But if you're
What's
down
a lot of money?
Some of the tournaments now you could win potentially 2 mil for winning it.
Before or after tax?
Yeah, that is that's 2 mil before tax, and it's
Right.
probably
Still not bad.
Could
Still
you
not a
end?
bad gig, is it?
But could you end up, Beef, if you don't make the cuts because you're paying for your own travel, you're paying for your own hotel, you're obviously paying for your caddy. Could you end up theoretically out of pocket if you were going to all these? You're doing the tour, you're traveling the world, and you're missing the cut. Could you be out of pocket?
100%. Yeah, like anything, like any sport, like the top people in sport, top people, what they do generally in the world, they're going to get paid a lot of money, right? But if you're struggling or you've just come on the tour, got your European tour card, and you play 6-7 events, and they're all over Middle East, Asia, you got to pay your travel, your caddy, your coach, physio. So that's all like outgoings before you've even basically teed it up.
So how do you pay for all that? Then are you rely on sponsorship or your own pocket? Or
Own
both?
pocket. Especially if you're starting out, you might have a small sponsorship, but it's not going to be big. It's like anything. Everything's top heavy. It's top heavy. If you're some of the best.
Sorry, I was going to make a gag there. It's a really bad gag.
Move along.
I can see the face there.
Oh,
know.
it's always the face that gives it away, Beef.
So it's not. If you make it to the top, it's an amazing living. If you're not at the top, like anything, it's hard. It's hard. You got all your expenses to come out, and it's a tough gig.
You clearly enjoy both playing with your mates and playing casual golf. But what's the big difference between tournament? Do you see that as work, or do you still see it as this is something I started doing when I was young and I love it? But has it become something that's, I need to pay the bills now?
A little bit of both, yeah. I think like when you're at home, and obviously, you've got to put the time in, practice, like anything, you feel like work, and sometimes travel, being on the road all the time. But once you're at a tournament and you've got crowds, you've got the buzz there, it's the best thing in the world. Like having that buzz, you never get adrenaline like it. And I think everyone, once they finish, they miss that buzz of playing. The adrenaline's amazing.
Is it ruthless at tournaments, like with other players?
Because it's a single sport, it's just quite different. Everyone just does their thing. So it's like, you don't need to be like horrible or rude to anyone, but you've got your routine, you've got yours, I've got mine. So it's like, you don't really speak to many people because you're going through like your routines and stuff like that. So it's just quite a single sport. That's the one thing I really want to play like a Ryder Cup, because that's the only team environment, and I think I'd love a team environment. I love it.
Well, that goes nuts, doesn't it? That goes nuts. Having been to a few Ryder Cups and watched particularly that McIlroy, Patrick Reed dust up at Hazeltine.
What was the beef there?
They were just going at it hammer and tongs. They were just attacking every single hole. One's nailing his approach, then the other one's going even closer, then one's rolling in a monster putt and the other one's matching him. It was, for the first 9 holes, it was absolutely insane.
And when you say hammer and tong, just explain that bit for me as well. So I've got a hammer,
And then you've got some tongs.
some tongs.
So one would use the force of the hammer,
Yeah.
and the other would use the delicate touch that you can get with a pair of tongs.
And what am I using the force of the hammer to do, and what am I touching with these tongs?
It's very much up to you.
Okay, thank you for clearing that one up. The Ryder Cup I fucking love. I guess because I play rugby and I love that big team environment and that togetherness with it all. And I just love the camaraderie. But I also really enjoy that you're all single sportsmen, then you have to come together for those moments. So you forget about those rivalries that you've got on the European tour, whatever, and then you just become these pals, or you try your best to.
What's the worst thing you've ever done on a golf course? And I don't mean shitting in a bunker. I mean the worst thing that's happened to you, like the worst shot or the most catastrophic moment you've had.
Oh, there's been a few. I think. There's a few. I mean, one of the first ones that still doesn't haunt me but makes me laugh. One of literally the first European Tour events I played. We played a tournament in South Africa at Leopard Creek, and you've got the 9th hole, which is all over water. So you've got to kind of walk round to the green and then back out. And there was all these kids at the back, and they were like, "Can we have a ball?" They always ask for your golf ball. So I was like, "Yeah." And they're only about 5.
Before you've played your shot?
After we finished the 9th.
Oh, right, sorry.
So now we're walking to the 10th. So I was like, yeah, and I didn't know whether to throw the ball like on the fall or on the bounce. And it was like that soft, spongy kind of like rubber you get in a playground. And I've like thrown it just short of him. It's bounced up, hit this kid in the face. And his mate caught the ball with like first slip. It was so good, honestly. But then for like ages, I was a bit like, oh, do I throw this or not? Yeah, that made me edgy for a while. That definitely.
Excuse me, mister, can I have your ball, please? Yeah, sure. For dying fuck! He didn't even get the ball. His mate got it. You're a piece of shit. You should have just started lobbing balls left, right and centre.
Yeah, I ran away.
Oh.
Yeah, I was just like, on to the next. I've hit a couple shots at the Open at Troon. You've got, I think it's the 4th hole, the par 5. And I was over on the right side, just like fine, just off the fairway, and going for the green, and I've shanked it full on, straight over the crowd into the sea.
Oh,
and that's where I kind of like, I was like, oh shit, and then like your nerves, and you're like, well, you got to hit this one again. So
you didn't even attempt to go and.
I was in the sea.
Oh right, but
yeah,
I thought you have to play it how it lies. I've seen people get in the water and play some shots.
those were the adverts, Joe. I feel like we slightly missed a trick by not starting the show in the style of Ivor Robson. Do you know who Ivor Robson is?
And welcome to the, we're welcoming to the first tee, beef. Do they say is it that guy?
That's the very same guy.
That was a bad impression. Would they, please welcome to the first tee, Mr. Andrew Johnston.
On the first tee,
Oh,
Joe Marler.
is that the same guy?
Yeah, slightly different versions we give him.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
I used to fucking love playing golf on the PlayStation. And Tiger Line is what I'd always get, where you get the heartbeat and it gives you can press circle, hold circle, and it gives you the perfect place where you've got to put it, and it gives it Tiger Line straight there. Tiger Woods was wonderful growing up. Was he someone you looked up to, or did you have a slightly niche hero?
He was definitely one of them. I mean, even now, if you start looking back at some of his records, the man's a freak.
Yeah.
He's a freak. It's insane. Like, to win a tournament or two tournaments in a season's mad. But when you're talking a guy who won like 7 tournaments in a row, it's ridiculous. So, yeah, obviously as a kid growing up, watching him, and everyone was, watching him, and he was obviously, a massive part. Golf changed golf. So, yeah, he's up there. One that goes back even further, I remember, was Chichi Rodriguez. Do you remember him?
I don't. Tell me more.
He was the president of Cuba in the 80s, 80 to 85, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
Yeah. They've got those T-shirts of him. Have you seen him? With the hat? No?
And the cigar, yeah.
No, different person. Well, he wouldn't be the first. Remember, what's his face from North Korea?
Yeah.
He reckoned
He shot an amazing round.
What was it, 30 under?
He shot a round of 34, didn't he?
Shot a round of 34. An 18-hole, he shot 34.
It's the only time he ever played golf.
It was his first time. Ridiculous. Okay, so it's not who I thought it was. You go with who you think it is.
Oh, I've gone.
Chichi Rodriguez.
That's it, yeah, Chichi. So, again, he was a player playing PGA Tour, but again, he was just a big character. And he always used to do this thing, if he hold a putt, he'd go across the green like pretending to have a sword fight,
Oh, that's nice.
and
That's
then
nice.
like a bit like Jimenez does.
Oh,
And then like
fuck.
puts the sword in, like
Sheaths
that.
his
Is
sword.
that cigar guy
Yeah,
with the warm up with his knees?
Yeah,
Oh, and the fabulous hair.
fabulous hair.
Oh, he's wonderful.
I think he's 80% rubber. He's the most flexible man I've ever seen. Like, so they have like the gym truck that goes round on all the tournaments, and so
When you say gym truck, like it's a portable gym.
yeah, they
What,
literally
just
drive
like
it to like a
weights?
physio weight
Oh,
truck.
okay.
Yeah, and they have a big squat rack in there. And one day I was in there and I was like warming up, and obviously someone had been doing some squats. The bar was up quite high, and he come in there and he took his shoes off and he kind of looked at it, and I was like, "What's he gonna do here?" Just popped his legs straight up there like that and started stretching, and I was like, "What the?" I was like, "This is insane." And then I just started to watch him stretch. He's the most flexible man you ever see.
How old is he?
Mid-50s.
Yeah, he's knocking on.
He's wonderful. I just love his aura. Just around that when he's warming up, he's got his like 3 clubs or something he holds all together, and he's practicing his swing with these 3 clubs at once, and then the cigars in his mouth, and he just looks like someone that I'd want to sleep with.
There's a good story about him as well at Augusta. So someone come in, and he's sitting in the locker room, and I think he's having a cigar. He's got a glass of red wine there. So the guys come in, sat down, and he's like, "How'd you get on today?" And he was like, "I haven't played yet. I'm out in a couple of hours." And he was there having a glass of wine before he teed off. He's just like,
It's just loosening up.
he's wicked. Yeah.
Joe, how would you say his full name if you were Spanish?
Miguel Angel Jimenez. What's his name?
That's it.
Miguel Angel Jimenez.
Yes.
Jimenez. You got to phlegm it out a bit. Miguel Angel Jimenez.
He's gone French. It was up until the 4th go, you were fine.
So you've met him, yeah? He's wonderful. he's wonderful. Have you actually met Tiger?
Once.
And what's he like?
He was really nice. Like, the problem with him is I've seen him obviously and played in lots of tournaments where he was playing, but he's got like 40, 50 people around him at any given time. So I just leave him alone.
Yeah.
And the only time I said hi to him was the Sunday before the tournament started at US Open. And obviously, like, Sunday's quite quiet. And there was probably about 10 people around him at that time. And he was walking off the range, I was walking on. And I just said hi. And he was like, "Oh, how you doing?" Blah, blah. I had a quick chat, and that was it. But, like, a lot of the players ask him for photos and stuff like
Players
that.
do?
The players do.
What?
Yeah, some players do. And I was like, man, I'm just going to leave this guy alone, because it's probably the last thing he wants is a player asking for a photo and stuff like that.
Have some respect. You can't, as a fellow player, ask someone else for a photograph, can you?
Why?
Have you done it?
No. But then I've never played with anyone.
Had
that's
your
like Tiger
career
Woods.
had your career overlap with Jason Leonard? Would you ask him for a photo?
No. I'd have had a pint. I'd have said, "Can I buy a beer, please, Mr. Leonard?"
The thing about Tiger, I think, that surprises people, Beef, is when you see him on the course, he is stacked with muscle, isn't he? Like, even now, when he's obviously had his injuries and the crash and everything else, he is totally triangular, isn't he, from the back?
Yeah, he's in incredible shape. I think that's what us golfers should probably look like.
That'd be why there was a pause before you answered.
Yeah.
Whilst we're on big golfing names, Rory McIlroy, what's he like?
Yeah, really good guy. What you see is what you get with Rory, and always, yeah, I've known him for a long time, and he's just generally a really good dude, and just an absolutely incredible golfer.
I'd like to just touch on briefly, Tom, if it's all right with you, the whole live situation, live golf tour with PGA something tour. Fuck me, hang on, there's so many tours. What's the crap? First of all, what's the crap with all the tours? How many tours are there?
Loads.
Right.
Loads. The main ones would be PGA, European, Asian tour. I'd say that would be the main three. But you've got like South African one, South American one.
So are all those tours you get on them based on where you live, or you can apply to go on any of those tours?
You can apply to go to any of them. So they all have like different qualifying for them. So like you'd go and you would apply and go to qualifying school, and then if you play well enough, then you'd play on that tour.
And when you say on that tour, you stay on that tour for the year, or is it like a yearly thing
Yeah.
you do? And you only play those tournaments that they're doing?
Pretty much.
Can
yeah.
you do more than one? Can you be on the European tour? Can you be on the US tour?
Yeah.
You can do it all.
Yeah, but it becomes very difficult because then you're playing a hell of a lot of events. Because you need to play enough in America, enough in Europe, enough somewhere else. So usually people will only stick to one, maybe two.
So then back to this live tour situation. Have you got a personal opinion on this one?
I don't really care, to be honest.
Oh,
It's, would you judge someone for making a lot of money?
was that a question or was it?
Yeah, like I wouldn't judge anyone.
Tom, would you judge anyone for going to make lots of money?
The anti-live argument is obviously where that money's coming from, isn't there? But there are a number of sports who get their funding from the same place.
Big numbers of money in any walk of life isn't clean. Don't care what people say. Big numbers of money has come from somewhere that you could question all day long. So, fuck 'em.
It's a nice section of the show.
If you want to go play live, go play live. I just, I just thought of it because you talk about Rory, really lovely guy, but he's actually been really outspoken on the whole live PGA situation, which is fair enough to have an opinion, of course, but
100%.
it's kind of like the more golf, the better now. We've gone back to being allowed to wear collared vests. More tournaments, the better. It'd be great for people.
But then it means that you can't take part in other tournaments. That's the thing. So if you're going to go and live,
You've got to go whole hog.
I've got a question for you, Beef. So you have played some of the best courses in the world. If you were to recommend one course in the world for Joe to play, which one would you select?
Oh my God, Pebble Beach.
Because
That'd be confusing, wouldn't it?
I know where you're going with this. You've got that guilty face where you've realised halfway through a comment that it's going somewhere bad.
Must be so hard to find your ball.
And there we go.
I know there's tough courses, mate, but fucking hell.
It's double down. Beef, why would Joe enjoy Pebble Beach so much?
Where is it, first of all? America?
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, West Side. Was it just north of LA, isn't it? It's just an amazing place. It's just a wicked place, and I like Joe, so I'll send him somewhere nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were we talking? The course is nice. Clubhouse is nice. What is it? Is it a fancy clubhouse? Is there something?
I don't think I've ever been in the clubhouse there.
Oh,
I'm not too sure. The golf course is amazing. It's right on the coast. It's just a lovely place to be. I love it over there. I love Pebble Beach.
Do you find, Beef, because golf is one of those sports that is beloved by celebrities. A lot of celebrities play golf. Do you find you get badgered on social media by celebrities asking for tips?
No, not massively. I think a lot of them now know I'm a pretty terrible coach.
Oh, that's why?
Probably. Mate, some of the celebrities play more than us.
Because they got the time.
Yeah, they play. There's a few guys there who play more than us, and they become very good at golf as well.
Who's the best that you've seen?
Tim Henman.
Oh, yeah, he's really good.
Yeah.
it's not really fair, though, is it?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, like it's essentially the same sport, isn't it?
What, tennis and golf?
Yeah, because you've got a bat or a racket with a ball, and you've got a stick with a ball, and you can play it on grass.
Okay.
And there's dress codes, and very similar sports. So he's bound to be good at it.
Apart from Tim Henman, so there's a few. Michael Jordan obviously loves his golf.
Yeah.
He's decent. Bill Murray always does very, very well in those Dunhills, doesn't he? And also he plays that shot in Lost in Translation. Have you seen Lost in Translation, Joe?
With Tom Hanks.
Not with Tom Hanks. And he hits a drive on a course outside Tokyo, and it's clearly done properly, and it is an absolute screamer. It's a beautiful shot.
Beef's not seen it either, have you? It's when Tom Hanks gets locked in the airport and he hasn't got a country. He's got this passport and his country's at war, so they take away his things. I've no idea why Bill Murray's in it.
Bill Murray's very good at golf, Beef. Who else have you seen from the celebrity world, apart from Tim Henman?
Oh, celebrity world. Justin Timberlake.
Timberlake. That was Michael.
Who's the worst celebrity golfer that you've experienced or come across?
Oh, the worst.
Are there any 28ers out there? In fact, we haven't cleared up our handicaps. What's your handicap, Tom?
So hard because I haven't played for so long. I haven't
Yeah.
played for 2 years. I would probably, if you and I were to go to the course now, I'd say I'll play off 24.
Okay.
What were
So-
you playing off?
Yeah, 24.
Oh, yeah, that's convenient.
Well, usually, because I only play once a year, they let me get away with 28,
Okay.
which I don't have to champion that hard, actually. As a pro, you don't have a handicap, no?
No, as soon as you turn pro, they go out the window.
So there's no, like, Stableford in pro games, pro tournaments.
No, there's one in America they play a similar point system. Might be Staple. I don't know how it works, but there's one tournament in the States where it's a points one, but I don't get it. I never played it, and yeah, don't really understand it.
Right, we've talked a lot of nonsense
We
about golf, or sort of golf-themed, but we've got a legit pro European Tour winning
Mm-hmm.
golfer, and you won back in 2016, was it? Where was it, in Spain?
Yeah.
Español. Español. No. Uno, dos, tres.
You have to ask all supplementary questions about Beef's win at the 2016 Spanish Open in a Spanish accent.
Biffy. What was it like? What was it like to win the in the tournament in Español in 2016?
I suddenly feel like I'm in an episode of Narcos. Or something.
Yeah, that's right. That's where I get it from. That's where I get my best. That's where I get it. What was it like to win that? What was the feeling like to win? As good as that, was it? Oh, okay. Fuck. Okay, I'll ask it normally then. What was it like winning back in 2016? Actually winning, coming top of that tournament?
Oh, obviously amazing. It's something you dream of whole career.
How did you celebrate?
I got hammered.
Did you?
Brilliant.
Battered. Yeah, absolutely hammered. So I couldn't get back to London that night.
Shame.
Yeah, it was. It was a shame. But all my mates said, look, don't worry about it. We'll have a party next weekend. And we ended up having a fancy dress party, like a Spanish fancy dress
Yes.
party, which was just epic. But I was like, the whole week, I was like panicking, thinking like, what can I go as fancy dress? Everyone's going to turn up maybe in the same things.
Matadors.
Yeah, I found a pinata suit.
Oh,
Like this big, colourful pinata thing. I was like, no one's going as that.
It's Mexican.
so they had to crack you
A
open.
pinata. I'll crack you open. You know what I mean? Oh, I'd love to see what you're full of. Oh!
Talk us through the pinata suit, Beef.
Thought no one else was
Was it a horsey pinata?
going to wear it. I don't really know. I was worried about people coming up and like smacking me.
Yeah.
But so we just had this massive fancy dress party and just got absolutely hammered. And like, I couldn't believe like when you have to do an interview after you win, like your emotions are like sideways, they're everywhere. And they ask you, what do you want to do? What's the first thing you want to do? And I just said, I want to go back, see my mates and get hammered. And it went like everywhere. And I just didn't see why it was such a big deal. I
That's
was
the whole
like,
point, isn't it?
Yeah.
You do that for that winning moment to then have those memories to just go and enjoy it.
Yeah,
Let's get battered.
yeah, it was wicked. And
Did you get a trophy?
yeah,
Because don't golf like come up with some really weird trophies for weird tournaments? Was it a normal? Was it like a
Could you drink
Like a-
out of it?
yeah.
Oh, nice.
so like a bull scrotum that was open? What I'm thinking Spanish. What else could it be? Like a giant tomato. What was the trophy like?
Just normal trophy that
Oh.
you could fill a lot of beer in it and drink out of it. So it was perfect, to be honest.
Beef, Joe and I have massively enjoyed talking to you about golf. The good thing is we can continue to hear you talking about golf because you have a podcast of your very own.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's exciting. I mean, Yeah, me and John Robbins are currently building our dream golf club, Beef's Golf Club.
Wow. So this is going to be the biggest golf club in the entire universe ever.
Oh yeah, it's huge. It's the biggest golf club ever made.
I've got a couple of points on this. When did we start our show, Tom?
September 2020-ish.
Couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And on my, you and Steve asked me to come up with 10 guests.
Yes.
Like, what are the 10 guests that bigger name guests that you want to talk to, celebrity guests that you'd like to get on? And on that list was Beef. That was two and a bit years ago. Yeah. And in those 2 and a bit years, there was no sight of Beef coming on the show. Yeah. And then I find out a couple of weeks ago that not only is Beef not coming on the show, but Crowd Network have actually made him his own podcast, and he's already recording his own podcast that looks quite similar, actually, to mine, with his face and his cat and his beard. And I remember kicking up saying, not only have you not got him on our show, you've managed to create him his own podcast. What the bloody hell's going on here?
I remember this conversation as well, Joe, and you said to me and Steve, don't worry, I chat to Beef on social media. I'll get Beef on. And I think Beef pied you from that moment onwards.
Several times, actually. That's absolutely fine. Luckily, there was part of me that went, oh, well, just out of protest, I'm not going to listen to his podcast. I'm not going to do it. I couldn't not, actually. I had to listen to it, and it is wonderful. It's so much fun. Listen, you and John are just chalk and cheese. And that's what I love the most about it. Like, he's got this bad golf Instagram account, hasn't he? With
Alex Horn.
Is he a comedian?
Yeah.
He's a friend. And just the chalk and cheese of like the amateur golfer with the pro golfer, and the stories that you come out with is brilliant. I absolutely love listening to it.
Yeah, he's wicked. He's so funny on it, and like, yeah, to have that balance of, yeah, someone who's playing amateur golf all the time, and then like the differences from amateur pro obviously huge. So the balance of it is so good, and I love hearing John's stories about like some of his problems at amateur golf. It's so good, and like every week talking about a different topic. And when you start thinking of like topics, all the memories come like flooding back of all like the silly things or funny things that have happened in their moments. And do you know what? It's been so much fun recording it. It's been so much fun. I look forward to like every episode we're recording.
You're a few episodes in already, so what are some of the features of this
The world's greatest golf course in the universe, created by Beef Johnston and welcome to the tee, John Robbins.
What are some of the features that you've already got started up?
So some of the episodes we've done is opening tee shots. So yeah, some of the horrors I've had with opening tee shots, ripped trousers, 300 people, 2 toilets, things like that. Problems, man. Like big problems. We've had an episode on caddies with Billy Foster.
Oh yeah.
On talking, he caddied obviously for Seve, for Tiger as well. So like picking his brains. We have Big Tom Davis on as well. He's just taken up golf in the last year and a half.
I would love to see him swing a club. I just can't put it together. He's such a giant of a man. I just picture every stick being too small for him and him just air-shotting all the time.
Yeah, that was the problem. When he's saying when he started, the clubs were like tiny and had to get ones specially fitted for him that are huge.
I love all the things, because you're designing the perfect clubhouse, aren't you, on the show? And I love all the suggestions that the listeners are coming up with.
Yeah, definitely, because there's so much to fit in perfect golf, like in a perfect golf club, and the courses, ideas on the golf course, ideas in the clubhouse, what food you have, what drinks you have, what are the locker rooms like. It's endless. Is there a golf range? Is there chipping greens? What are the rules for the clubhouse as well? You can have any rules, and I know one of the rules we said for golf attire, Joe, was just have a little look in the mirror, mate. You know, if you get up and you think, is this acceptable to wear at a golf course? So obviously, you turning up in a vest, you've looked in the mirror and gone, I think it's all right in a vest.
Right, Beef. when we get our collared vests made in bright purple, yeah, with branding all over it, and I turn up at your golf club and you turn me away, God help you.
You got a collar on, mate. You'll be fine. It's
There you
there.
go.
It's there. There's going to be no big signs up saying like no vests, or if it does, you say, well, it's got a collar on it.
The dream.
It's a collared vest.
Yeah,
And I'll have to wear shorts, will I? Or
whatever you want.
so if I wake up one morning and I'm in a pair of pants, like tight pants, and my collared vest and a cap and my socks that I'll pull up to what they call par fours. What are they called?
Oh, +4s.
Plus fours. Plus fours, and I've got my golf shoes on and I'm looking dapper. I'm playing, am I?
Yeah, you can play. Probably
It's doubting
would
voice.
try and put you
On my own.
on your own.
But you haven't turned me away because this golf club is open to everyone.
It's open to absolutely everyone. Everyone's always welcome, and yeah, just come and have a good old listen, a good laugh, and come and join Beef's Golf Club.
Nice.
Beef, thank you so much for coming on, mate.
It's been epic, honestly.
He's
I know it's
literally gonna walk away from here going, "What the?" He should have done this show before setting up with crowd. Then he'd know what you're really like and what you're like about.
No, all I want to do is just something. I just want to hang out with you.
Me and you, we're gonna play golf. We're gonna go play golf at so
Pebble
we went-
Beach.
Where?
Pebble Beach.
It's a bit far, mate.
Okay.
And I know you're based in Portugal now, aren't you? And I'm based in Sussex. Where's nice? Someone keeps badgering me to go to Goodwood. Is that a decent call?
Never been.
Never been. East Sussex National.
Yeah, it's supposed to be quite nice.
Okay, Tom doesn't know. He doesn't know where Sussex is. He thinks it's near Surrey, which it is. No, me and you, we're going to go golfing, and I'd like us to go to, in fact, Prince's. I want us to do Prince's because that's 3 9 holes, which makes 3 different courses that we can do. And it's windy, and that's my specialty, links golf, because of my old man swing.
Wicked, let's do it. I'd love to play Prince's. Come and hang out.
Perfect. Cheers, mate.